Hello, chameleon wranglers. I had a request to give an introduction to Trioceros cristatus, the crested chameleon. And so this is a male. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so you can get a good look. And look at that blue crown. I'm going to turn this camera around. So this here is the male Trioceros cristatus, the crested chameleon, sometimes called the crowned chameleon, because on the front of their head, which this guy is being difficult, this is a characteristic of cristatus. They are shy chameleon. They do not like to be looked at. And so this is really a chameleon for deep, dedicated chameleon enthusiasts that want to really study chameleons for what they are. This is not going to be a chameleon that wants to interact with you. And so they like densely planted cages, and you can expect to not see them often. And that's how they are happy. But they're an incredible chameleon. So this is the male. This male was captive hatched here. This is an F1 male. And notice the short tail. That's because the Trioceros cristatus actually lives low in the bushes, not up in the canopy. And so their tail did not need to be as long as, say, Trioceros oweni that does live in the canopy. So you'll notice right now he's a very dark brown, and that's because he's out here not only saying hello to me, which makes him uncomfortable, but also he's in the sun, so he's soaking up the sun. They can get a very light, beautiful light chestnut, and they can get like unreal bright white yellow type coloration when they are wanting to tell you to go away. But this is a male Trioceros cristatus, and we will have a female come show you a female. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the female inside. The male would just been really hard to get a hold of, but there she is. They're very shy, but you notice something very different about the female. She is a bright emerald green, and it actually gets brighter when she's not trying to avoid my gaze. She has the same short tail as the male, the same crest as the male. Let's go ahead and bring you out. There we go. So you can see her shape. Up, up, up. That is a female cristatus. Beautiful in her own right. And this one too was hatched here. So this is an F1. Now someone may say, Bill, does she look gravid to you? And that is a possibility. I had an unrelated F1 male that she mated with a little while ago. I would have expected eggs sooner. Oops. But the eggs did not come. So did she retain the sperm and decide that she was going to use that sperm later? We shall see. Stay tuned. Now, for those who want... Now, for those who want to work with cristatus, cristatus is an interesting beast and an interesting situation. It is actually legal, and there's a quota to ship cristatus from Cameroon. There's only 3 species that are allowed out of Cameroon at this time. That's cristatus, Trioceros serratus, and Rambolian spectrum. But we don't see shipments of them come in because those three species just don't have the mass appeal. And so the importers are saying, why do we do this? It'd be difficult to sell as many as we would need to make the shipment worthwhile. So it's a very strange situation that it's hard for us to find cristatus because there just isn't that critical mass of people wanting cristatus to bring in a shipment. That said, sooner or later they will come in, and all I can say is if you are interested in cristatus and cristatus does come in, grab it immediately, plan for it, and get a couple of pairs. This is a species that is definitely in demand in the inner circles. And for us, they're easy to breed. They're easy to reproduce. And it's once again a shame that we don't have more captive hatched cristatus available. And so if they ever do come in, let's go ahead and rectify that.
All right, folks, what a day this has been. If you have been following me from the beginning of this day, you know that we got an impromptu live session with Dr. Michael Nash, who is right now in Ranamafana, Madagascar. And so we got to talk to him about what he's seeing and what he thinks about what he's seeing. And he is there with Patrick, who is the guide who we're going to be going with in January. And so this is a very cool opportunity to talk to him while he was in Madagascar. And when you know how reliable internet service is in Madagascar, you realize also how special this really was. When we go to Madagascar, there are places where there are chameleons and internet service, and during those times, yes, you're going to be out there in the field with me. I'm going to go live, and you're going to be able to see what I see when I'm seeing it, and that is so very cool. And then there are parts of the journey where we will have absolutely no connection, and even in the hotel when they have Wi-Fi and you have full bars, the Wi-Fi is not connected to internet, so well, good luck. So it's just going to be a mixed bag. But I guarantee you, when I get back, the daily vlogs are going to be from Madagascar. I'm going to be recording every day in Madagascar, even if I can't. Let's assume I can't load them up while I'm in Madagascar. I may be able to get some out, but you know what? Loading up a whole video, yikes, that's a little bit dicey. So let's not assume that that's going to happen. I'm going to save everything from, I'm going to save everything for when I get back. And then I'm going to get back and you're going to get 2 weeks of daily vlogs from Madagascar. So that's actually going to be fun because I'm going to be able to be there in the chat with you and we can talk about what's going on. All right, now it's time to share the subscriber chameleon of the day. And this one comes from Anthony Pottinger. I think I don't know if I said that right, but Anthony, thank you very much. This is Anthony's ambulobe panther chameleon. This is RGB. And what a beautiful beast he is. Thank you, Anthony, very much for sharing your pride and joy. And if any of the other viewers, you would like to share your chameleon, please send it to bill@chameleonacademy.com. And you can see your chameleon here on the daily vlog. Now, I do have an interesting idea. I don't know if it's going to fly, but you know, I'm going to throw it out there. This is a daily vlog. If it doesn't work one day, well, you know, we've got another day coming in 24 hours. So if any of you have questions that you'd like me to answer on the vlog, obviously, you already can email me at bill@chameleonacademy.com and say, hey, could you go over this? And people have been doing that. But here's an opportunity. I will lay this out to the community. If you have something that you're really wondering about, and not just, hey, will my chameleon eat superworms, or why does my chameleon have his eyes? But, you know, basic husbandry stuff, I answer that all the time, but and I can answer that, continue to answer that. But here on the vlog, we have a little bit more of an intimate setting here. None of these vlogs are going viral and going to the outside world. I mean, YouTube's going, hey, what the heck's going on over there? I don't know. So it kind of is a little bit of a close-knit community. And if you have questions that are somewhat deep, I don't know, how am I going to describe this? Like, I have grown up in the chameleon community, and I've helped shape the chameleon community. I have seen a lot of I've lived through our history. And so there are some things that I have experienced that may be hard to find people that have gone through that. So questions such as, why do we say that chameleons need screen cages? I mean, that's something that we all hear bouncing around on social media, but where did that come from? Well, I know where that came from. I was part of the people who came up with that, and I know the limitations of that. And so for something like that, if you want to ask a question like that, and you're willing to take a selfie video, just take your phone, point it at you, selfie video, and say, hey, Bill, I was wondering, how come we've got people who really believe that you should just give chameleon a cup of water, and then we got people who believe that you should only fog your chameleon, and then Chameleon Academy, you have like a hybrid of everything. How am I supposed to sort through all of that? I mean, that's a pretty intense question. That goes beyond what you normally hear on social media of no, this is what you should believe. Trying to reconcile all of that. If you truly have been struggling with something like that, you see all these different communities, where did all of this come from? Where did fogging come from? Where did this idea of cup drinking come from? Bill, how did you put together your hydration with all of this stuff flying around? That's a very meaty question that you're not going to easily find an answer for. And I can answer that. So if you've got a question like that, something that's pretty meaty, and here's the guidelines, you're welcome to challenge anything that I say, anything in the ChameleonAcademy.com, say, hey, I just don't get this. My only rule is be respectful. Come around and say this. I got so many people in the community who see I'm a visible person in the community. So I get people all the time who want to be important. And so they think that being important means challenging me and saying they don't agree with me and it's being antagonistic towards me, as if somehow that elevates them or something. I don't know. You build yourself in the chameleon community. Not relation to me. I've got my own thing. You've got your own thing. Everybody's independent. And me building what I'm building does not take away from you building what you're building. So separate all this. Anyway, don't be antagonistic. Don't be annoying. Be respectful. Let's have a good conversation. But if there's something that I am saying that you're saying, gosh, this just doesn't click in my brain. Like Don said before, you know what, Bill? You're doing a community tank back there where you're going to have a chameleon, a gecko, and a frog. He said, it may work for you, but aren't you worried about other people trying that when it's not going to work for them because they don't have the experience? That's a deep, meaty question. And I appreciated that question. And there's not all of these have black and white answers. My answer to him was, yes, you're right. And I have to be careful about that. This is, I don't want to say risky, but it could be taken the wrong way in the community, as in, it's okay for me to throw my tokay gecko in with my snake and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I have to be very careful, but that was an honest question. that was not antagonistic. That was a respectful, honest question, and I appreciate that kind of conversation. That's the kind of conversation we all need to have. So I'm opening it up to you, and I don't know how this is going to go, but what the heck, we'll try it. So if you got a question, take a video of yourself so I can put you on the vlog, and so you can ask the question on the vlog. Everybody can see you. If it's something that you'd rather be anonymous for, okay, just send me the question and I can read it off. But let's try it. Okay, now, some of you who remember what I say and hold me to what I say, I did say I was going to be putting together the Arboreal L and starting that today, and that didn't happen because my day just didn't go the way I expected it to. So that's going to happen tomorrow. And yes, I will get an early start and I will get it going and I will film it. And then I'm going to share the steps that you go through to put together the enclosure. It'll eventually look very much like the one behind me. And but I'm going to take you through every step of the way. And if you want more chameleon goodness today is Tuesday. And so tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, I have a live session on YouTube and Instagram. And so if you'd like to ask questions, that's the perfect place for husbandry questions. That's the place for husbandry questions. This vlog, maybe for deep and meaty questions. The general husbandry questions, go to a live, you get your answer right away. And the important thing about that is other people are going to hear it. And that's what I like about the lives. That's why I rather do question answering sessions on the lives rather than on DMs or anything that's just between me and you, is because there's so many people who will have the same question, and it's beneficial to the community to answer those publicly. And so that's why the lives are so perfect for what we're doing here. And I love them. So if you want to join 5 p.m. Pacific, YouTube and Instagram, YouTube's the best experience for these lives. It's got better tools. I prefer that. But you know what? Platform of your choice. All right, everybody, that's it for this Tuesday. Thank you very much for joining me here. And you know I'm going to say it. Take care of yourself. Be excellent to each other. And I'll see you next time.